Storm Babet is expected to bring strong winds and heavy rain across parts of the UK, with some fears that the Met Office could issue a rare red weather warning. To explain this all, I'm delighted to be joined by the weather presenter Claire Nasir. Thanks for joining us. What does a red weather warning actually mean, Claire?
A red weather warning means a danger to life. It hasn't been issued yet. They will be issuing an amber warning for eastern Scotland, but there's a lot of rain on its way, prolonged spells of wet weather and strong winds over a number of days, and that's the concern, really. It's the accumulation of rain through 2, 3, even 4 days.
Strong winds as well. I mean, this sounds like, the red alert impending. It sounds like one hell of a storm. Where's it coming from, Claire?
Right, this storm is coming from Iberia, the Bay of Biscay. It's got some subtropical elements to it, which means it's potent. There will be a lot of rain initially across Northern Ireland. Even southern England will see some heavy pulses through tomorrow night. But really, to be honest, it's Scotland, northeast England, where we're most concerned. There are numerous rain warnings in force across the country from tomorrow right the way through until Saturday. And as you said, those wind warnings. So gusty winds, damaging winds coming in from the southeast. So that's going to enhance the rainfall over particularly eastern facing hills and mountains in the north. So really it's the combination of rain and wind. There'll be travel disruption. There probably will be quite a lot of flooding like we saw a couple of weeks ago in Scotland. So not a great scenario. In fact, very tricky with some huge hazards out there.
Well, we gather it's going to hit us tomorrow all over the UK, Wednesday. Any indication as to how long this storm will last, Claire?
Okay, well, this is the thing. It's evolving at the moment. It's pushing slowly northwards. So in Scotland tomorrow and eastern England, you're going to see dry weather, but it will be very gusty. The rain will intensify across Northern Ireland for a time, but then it will wane. It's really on Thursday onwards where the full grip of Storm Babet will take hold, particularly across northern and eastern areas, but even further south, we could see some thunderstorms. So to be honest, wherever you are, you will be impacted by some really lively weather, but it could be really dangerous weather with the amount of water we're expecting over probably around 60 hours.
Sounds very worrying. On a lighter note, I don't suppose you know why it's called Storm Babet, do you, Claire? If not, why do they name storms generally? Do you know why it's called Storm Babet?
Yes, so that's
Excellent.
an interesting question, actually. So each year, the Met Office partnered with Met Éireann, which are the Irish Met Service, and also the Dutch Met Service, do a call out for names to the general public. So the mix of names are Celtic, they're British, as well as Dutch, but add into that a lot of diversity as well. So you get a real mixture of names, which obviously alternate between female and male, similar to the hurricane naming system. And the reason why we do this is because it's important to be able to message really important information in the best possible way so people can make informed decisions about what to do. So by naming the storm, it really alerts the general public and emergency services to realize there's something pretty bad on its way. And so information is obviously, it's life-saving. So that's the reason why we do that at the Met Office, and we're partnered with the Dutch Met Service and the Irish.
So diversity in storm names, very important. It's every time then, Claire, every time a storm is named, that's when you've got to take it seriously, yes?
Oh my goodness, absolutely. I mean, we've had some horrific storms across the UK through many years. They used to be named associated with perhaps an event, like in 1979, we saw the Fastnet storm, which was associated with the Fastnet race, where a lot of people died, and I think it was the greatest rescue mission in peacetime Britain. So these things are there, they're there so we can be reminded that weather and all its elements, even though it's life affirming, can be life damaging as well. So it's really only been in the last sort of 8 or 9 years we've created this storm naming system, which is alphabetical, but it has really paid dividends already, because when we see these weather warnings, people do take note. The engagement here at the Met Office is huge, just across the board on all their social media channels, and it does work. And that's exactly why the Met Office are there, to protect lives and allow lives to thrive under any weather situation.
Well, Claire, obviously in the short term, we're going to be very worried about Storm Babet. In the long term, what kind of a winter are we looking at, do you think?
Well, interestingly, Kevin, we've already had one named storm. We're only into October. Does this bode for many more? I don't know. The long-term trends in climate suggest that our winters will be wetter than average, with a chance of the more potent storms coming our way. Interestingly, most of our storms come in from the west. However, when you get a cold snap, that comes in from the east. So we've seen those before. It's not going to be a blanket, wet, mild, and windy winter.
Okay,
But
Claire,
even
well, listen, I'm looking forward to a white Christmas. That's what I'm dreaming of. You
that
are
was
watching
too much of a long answer, wasn't it,
All
Kevin?
right, the Independent Republic of Mike Graham.